Hey fans, this is Tony Schumacher here in beautiful Morrison, Colorado at Bandimere Speedway. I think you submitted some great questions this week, and I want to take the opportunity right now to answer a few for this week's video blog. Corey Rice asks, does the altitude affect your tune-up? Fantastic question. Absolutely 100% yes. And I'm not exactly sure how to explain this, but picture a shoebox with ping pong balls. Every ball is one molecule of oxygen. Okay? As the altitude gets higher, there's less balls in there. There's just less oxygen. You can tell that when you walk, run, cars perform slower when you're driving. It's harder to make your body to make energy out here. There's just none equally for a car. Now, a top fuel dragster has a supercharger, and we can spin it, but you can only spin it so fast before it's not going to make any more power. You're just wearing parts out. So, no doubt, it's going to be harder. You got to add to that. It's 100 degrees, 140 degrees on a racetrack. It is very, very difficult, and it's why you see much, much slower times up in the mountains, both at Denver, sometimes you see it at Bristol. The higher the altitude, the less oxygen. If every one of those balls is a molecule of oxygen, the more heat, the less balls. They get antsy and they knock some of those balls out of there. The more cool and crisp the air is, the more they shove the oxygen inside that box. Now, if you have killer oxygen in a square foot or a shoebox, you can add more fuel. Fuel and air make power. As long as you can light it with some good spark and get the clutch to use it, you're going to go a lot faster. Fantastic question. Jane Moore, hi Jane, asks, Bandimere is the only track that has a built-in system under the track. Does this affect your ET and speed in a positive manner? What she means by that, 60 foot in front of the starting line and to 120 foot after the starting line, there's coils, and they run water to cool the massive heat up in the mountains here when it's 100 degrees. Today when we ran, the track was 140 degrees, almost impossible to get down. The starting line was 120, and that's running that cool water through it, so it definitely helps us in a positive manner. This track could be extremely difficult, and was extremely difficult before they added that cooling system. Bobby Gross asks, are you experiencing any long-term effects from the G's you are pulling while racing? What do you do to counter this? I don't think so. I feel great. You know, I stay in shape, and I know a lot of guys that have raced much longer than me that have no bad effects. You know, the fact is the G's are high, but we're not doing them a long time. I think the effects we're going to see later in life really are going to come from crashes and impacts, and our bones hurt a little more. But, you know, I stay in good shape mentally, physically, and emotionally like a good old-fashioned Army soldier, and it's probably because I'm surrounded by them every day. It's hard to be lazy when you're surrounded by people that aren't. So for the people out there that can't figure out how to get off the couch, man, put yourself around good, strong people, follow their lead, man. That's what we do every day. Jerry Ann Rasmussen asks, when a supercharger blows, does the blower belt automatically break along with it? And what is the physical feeling that you experience? It is a big kaboom. Sometimes the blower belt comes off, sometimes the back of the blower comes off. But if you look at a supercharger and the manifold, we have burst panels. We hope that when that thing backfires, it blows the burst panels out. That's its job. But sometimes the explosion's so big it lifts the supercharger right off, blows the belt, knocks the belt off. You know, we use the Gates belts. We've been partners with Gates for a long, long time. I have seen those things do. I tried to tell them to do a commercial and just show from the back of our car the violence that a Gates blower belt takes. And you don't even have to run a commercial. Just put it on TV. Anyone that saw what that belt took would be crazy to buy anything else. And that's kind of the same thing. Our explosions are massive. Those belts are so strong and so good that sometimes they hold on and you'll see the back of the blower come up. Sometimes we disintegrate everything. I've seen those cars leveled. So it's great questions. But a big thanks to our Facebook and Twitter fans and followers for all those questions. And man, myself and NASCAR Army Racing teammate Ryan Newman, who by the way just won a race, did a great job. We answer questions through the video blogs each and every week from our Facebook fans and followers. So keep the questions coming and check out our Go Army Facebook wall at www.facebook.goarmy/ let's try that again, www.facebook.com/GoArmy, and follow us on Twitter at Army Racing. To submit your questions, we'll be back next week in Sonoma. See you there.